Hello Cinnamon Bun, happy Patreon launch day! I'm really excited to share this with you. So you might have noticed, like basically my whole YouTube career, but especially in the last year, my upload schedule has been incredibly sporadic and irregular. I have definitely not been making as many videos as I would like to make, and that has been totally dictated by my free time, and unfortunately my free time is entirely dictated by my work and my income. But this is why I'm so over the moon excited about all the awesome videos and other stuff that I'll be able to make with your support on Patreon. So for those of you who aren't sure what Patreon is, here is a super quick introduction. So Patreon is a funding platform for creators of all types where people can financially support the creators that they love on a monthly basis starting at $1 upwards. So some creators have their Patreon set up purely as just a way for people to support them. There's no tiers, there's no division, so patrons and everyone else who follows their work, they all get the same stuff. Other creators choose to use what are called tiers. So these are different levels at which you can jump in and support this creator, and based on which level you choose, you'll get different bonuses from that person. So after a lot of thought, I have decided to take the tiered approach personally. And that's for two reasons. First of all, I'm really excited about the prospect of the new things that I could start to do with Patreon support, that I can do with tiers, the things that I can give you guys. And the second reason is that I want you to feel like you're getting good value out of being a patron. Obviously, it's great if you guys just want to support and just kind of get the warm fuzzy feeling of, you know, like supporting me, which is awesome, but I want you guys to feel like you really get a lot out of it as well. So here's a bit behind the curtain about what the Patreon funding will be for and what it won't be for and why I'm setting this up basically. So this funding through Patreon will go towards my time making bi-weekly videos for YouTube on Novelcraft mostly, but some other things. And it will pay for my time making Patreon exclusive goodies for patrons at various tiers. It will never go towards the time that it takes me to create new paid products or services, so things like the Plot Embryo printable that you can buy in my shop. I'm never going to charge you patrons for the time it takes me to set that up because it's a paid product already, so that's going to be completely separate. So I know the back-end process of my YouTube channel and the rest of my business is probably a little bit mysterious to you guys, so forgive me, but I'm going to go into a bit of the nitty-gritty of how that works and how I do it here to try and clarify things. First of all, I don't make any money directly from my YouTube videos, ever. I've never had ads enabled and I probably never will. I do, however, promote my paid products, so everything in the Novelcraft library and, you know, my novel navigation sessions, which are like, yeah, it's like coaching, it's a service rather than a product. But other than that promotion, the time and effort that goes into all my videos is completely voluntary and unpaid. So this means that even though I love making videos, videos always have to come second priority to just for money work. And I've done lots of different kinds of just for money work in the last few years. I started writing in earnest in my first year of university, and after I graduated in 2013, I immediately just looked for any kind of job that would give me time and energy to focus on writing. So I didn't look for graduate jobs, I didn't look for salaried jobs. I was in hospitality, I was working in coffee, just doing anything that I could so that I could focus on writing. So I worked for years as a barista on minimum wage and really precarious hours. And eventually, when I moved in with Ross and my rent was a little bit lower, I managed to go part-time to make more time for writing. And I was writing when I was full-time in coffee, but it's extremely draining, physically exhausting work. And it's like there's a lot of emotional labour as well being in service. And so I was not getting a lot of writing done when I worked full-time in coffee because I was just so drained at the end of every day. I just spent all my free time recovering from it basically. So yeah, I went part-time, and that is when I started my YouTube channel, and I basically would not have been able to do that if I hadn't been part-time. So over the past few years, I've had a lot of different overlapping jobs, lots of different coffee gigs, various modes of part-time and freelance, and I did a marketing internship for 6 months. It was like 20 hours a week. I did some social media for a coffee roaster part-time for a good amount of time as well, and eventually I did get funded by Creative Scotland to write North of the End, which was awesome, obviously. I got a finite pot of money for that based on a finite period of time which I would be writing, and because I didn't finish in that time, I stretched that pot of money really far beyond the period that I'd applied for, and I was basically living on a shoestring budget to try and give myself more time for writing and videos. So when that money finally ran out, I was like, okay, well, I've got to pick up another coffee gig. So I did, and I've actually just quit that now. So at the moment, from my book sales, from my shop, from my coaching, I have enough money to live for about 4 weeks from right now. And if by the end of that 4 weeks, I'm not consistently making enough money to live, then I'm gonna have to pick up another job. That's just the way it is. That's how it's been for a few years now. So I'm gonna have to probably pick up another coffee gig. And as you can imagine, every single time I have to pick up another just for money job, like a coffee gig or something else, that seriously cuts down on my time and energy for making videos and for writing. So obviously it would be awesome if I didn't have to do that. You guys would get more consistent videos and a more present me, more stuff from me, and because I would be able to devote my full attention to my writing and my YouTube life. Okay, so that got quite long and personal, but there you go, that's my story. That is what is behind the curtain in terms of work and time and money for me. So consistent support on Patreon would mean that YouTube would be able to become a paid part-time job for me. I'd be able to always dedicate a certain number of hours per month to it, and it would never have to go on the back burner for other paid work. And just for reference, to wrap up this chat, for every 10-minute video I make, it takes me about 9 solid hours of shooting and editing. That doesn't include the time it takes me to write the script, and it doesn't include time if it's an extra graphics heavy video, because I make all my graphics myself. So longer videos can be anything from 9 to, I'd say probably the longest it's ever taken me is like maybe 17 hours per video. Obviously that's quite a lot of time. So that's the backstory, that's why the Patreon's happening. Now let's get into the fun stuff, and I'm really excited to share these with you. Here are the tiers that I'm going to be offering on my Patreon. At $1 a month, we have Tenderfoot Cinnamon Bun. At this tier, you get the warm, fuzzy feeling of knowing that you're supporting your local woodland hell bitch. And you also get access to the Novelcraft Lounge Discord server. The Novelcraft Lounge is my new private chat room to talk shop about your novel, talk about writing in general, meet other cinnamon buns. I will also be there to chat and hopefully answer some questions now and again. If you're unfamiliar with Discord, it's basically a new version of what used to be like old internet chat rooms. So it's like live chat, but with the whole community rather than just with one person. And there are different sections to it. So within the server, we've got different chats about the plot embryo, about characters, about worlds. There's places to share your stories and your outlines. There's hopefully going to be a place to find critique partners and do critique swaps. There's going to be, yeah, like off topic and just general kind of coffee chat and stuff. So I'm really excited about that and to get you guys into it because it's all set up. We've got bots and everything, which is really exciting. Yeah, so tier 1, you get access to the Novelcraft Lounge Discord server. And at $5 a month, we have the Novice Traveller tier. So this time you get some warm fuzzies, you also get access to the Novelcraft Lounge, and you also get a 5% discount at the Novelcraft Library, which is my online store. So that's where you can buy things like the Plot Embryo printable. This also includes the novel navigation sessions. They count as a product in the store, even though it's a service. And those are a bit more expensive, obviously, because it's like one-to-one coaching with me, and you do get a discount on that. It's a reusable discount, so you can use it as many times as you like. And you will have that discount for basically as long as you are a Novice Traveller patron. And at $20, we have Experienced Adventurer. So you get the warm fuzzies, you get the Novelcraft Lounge, you also get a 10% discount for the Novelcraft library, and you get entered into my monthly novel navigation draw. So this means that once a month I will choose a name from the pool of experienced adventurers, and one person will get a free novel navigation session. But yeah, so this is really cool. I'm really excited about it. And obviously, the earlier you get in on that, when there are fewer patrons, the higher the chances are that you're going to get picked for the draw. The more patrons come on in that level, the less likely it is that you're going to get the free session. And finally, the highest tier at $50 a month is Seasoned Fortune Hunter. So at this tier, you get the warm fuzzies, you get the Novelcraft Lounge, you get a 20% discount on everything in the Novelcraft library, and you also get a monthly novel navigation session with me. So this one is half an hour, because an hour every month is probably maybe a little bit too much, but I'll basically be your novel writing coach. Every month we will sit down over Skype for half an hour and work through whatever you might be struggling with at the time, whatever you want to work on. I will help you with it. Okay, so those are my tiers. I'm very excited about them. I hope you are too. But that's not all that is on the go. I also have a couple of goals. So if I reach certain monthly income goals on Patreon, then I will be looking to make some extras and rewards. So my first goal is Rusty Sword, and this is a level 1 sword. So if I reach $400 every month, between all of my patrons, then that will have fully covered the time it takes me to make bi-weekly videos, which would be absolutely amazing. So that would mean I've achieved my goal of making my bi-weekly YouTube videos a part-time job. They would never have to go on the back burner. I would never have to give up that time for other paid work because they would be paying for themselves. That would be awesome. And the reward that I've decided to give for this is a patron-only Q&A video. So if I manage to achieve that, I will be taking questions from just the patrons and making an exclusive Q&A video to say thank you where I answer those questions. So it would be really cool if we get to that space. My second goal, so aiming high, is Sterling Silver Sword, and this is a level 5 sword. So this would be for me to reach $600 per month. This would cover not only my normal bi-weekly videos, but I would be able to add an extra exclusive video every month. And I have already decided that I would love to make this a monthly plot with me video. So I kind of go back between calling them plot with me and how I would fix, because I used both in my last one, but I don't know if you saw it. I did a video called Plot with Me, How I Would Fix Tomb Raider 2013, and I basically took an existing story that I wasn't happy with and live on camera basically fixed it using the plot embryo method, showing you how I would go about writing this story in a way that I liked, showing you how I brainstormed, how I put things together, how I came up with the themes and different plot points and characters. And it was a really, really fun video for me to make, and I'm really, really proud of it. But they're so time and effort intensive. And I do feel like they're very valuable as well, because you really do get to see the plot embryo process in action. So it's really helpful for kind of seeing that for your own writing. And so I just couldn't justify doing these regularly without some kind of support. So if I reach $600 per month on Patreon, then that would enable me to make one of those videos every single month as a patron exclusive. And I would really, really love to do that, because I really want to do more of those videos, but I really just can't justify it right now. After Sterling Silver Sword, I actually have a third goal called Golden Sword, but I can't tell you about that yet because I haven't done the maths and stuff on it, but it's exciting. Okay, so there you have it. That's my Patreon setup for the moment. I hope you are as excited about it as I am. If you do get a lot out of my content, it would mean the world to me if you became a patron. And please don't think that it's not worth it just because it's only $1. $1 pledges are amazing, and they give you a much more stable income than some of the higher pledges, because most people can give $1 a month more sustainably over the long term. So $1 pledges are just as great as everything else. If you do have that disposable income to spare, it would mean the world to me, and thank you very much. Finally, if you got this far, thank you so much for watching and paying attention to all this stuff. and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Alright, Patron and Patreon, this is going to be a thing throughout this whole video. It's fine. Take a moment. Novelcraft. That dog stop barking, that would be excellent.